You've worked in folk and blues and country and R&B. I wonder what it is that you find to be the common thread through all this music.
Just having fun and being there and getting into it. It's what keeps me at it. The common thread with Crazy Horse's music is different, because there is a common thread, and that's a group that I keep coming back to, whereas all the other groups are like transient stops compared to Crazy Horse, yeah. Even though I'm completely committed to every one of them while I'm working with them, and I don't look past it, which means that, you know, it's all encompassing to me while I'm doing it. Even a thing like the Shocking Pinks, I would be totally into it, you know, and you know, things that met with little success at all were just as much my obsession as things which pleased a lot of people. So. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Crazy Horse is a longer-running thing with you,
yeah.
Which draws you back to them all the time.
It's rock and roll. Crazy Horse and I are rock and roll, and we even if we're whatever kind of song we're playing, if we're just playing together with guitars and stuff, and it works out. So it just sounds like rock and roll. It doesn't sound like anything else. It's pretty primitive stuff, simple. Anybody can play it that knows how to play a little bit, but we just go for the feel, you know, that's all. We're a feel band. We've got a feel drummer and a feel bass player and a couple of feel guitar players. And posing is, you know, try not to pose too much. Got to strike one every once in a while, but, you know, we really like to just close our eyes and groove, you know.
Yeah. You made a great comment once that Crazy Horse is a great band until some real musician walks into the room and just
ruins everything.
Why is that, do you suppose?
I don't know. Don't spook the horse. That's what it is. But, you know, especially studio musicians, you know, people, for me, my point of view is, well, a lot of studio musicians might like to play on my album or something, you know. You know, I mean, you know, I get my, you know, they'll find, especially, you know, at one time or another in my life when I'm more popular or less popular or whatever, it changes all the time. But so a lot of people have said to me, well, just that, you know, Crazy Horse is like, you know, those guys can't play, man.
To which you reply?
I say, well, you know, they can't play with you. You know, but they, you know, when we play together, it's like, you know, it's us. It's like there's not a guitar solo, it's a band playing. Yeah. It's jamming. It's everything at once. It's not just a hero with support. It's not like that. And I only play that kind of music when I play with Crazy Horse. Yeah. It's the only time that I ever get to that place with my guitar where it is elevated. And I know it. I can feel it. So it feels real good.
Yeah, I think you're sometimes maybe underestimated as a guitarist when you're really a great guitar player. Do you see yourself as a really great guitar player? Or?
Well, not really, but a maker of noise. And a melodic noise, too,
yes.
Sometimes. But a group cannot you know, if you're learning how to play, you can play what I play.
Yeah.
You know, but if you're, you know, I mean, it doesn't take very long to learn how to play the notes that I play. I don't play very fast. Even my fastest playing is slow compared to some of these guys like Steve Vai. you know what I mean? I mean, you see these guys on MTV, you know. I don't know how they do this. You know what I mean? What does that? They go, cool. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. I know that was...
you don't sit home and try or anything, right?
No, I did. For a while I tried.
It's hard to do it.
No, it's way too hard.
It's real hard.
I do it by... I get sort of the same sound by just gnarling right down on it. You know, get the pick and... You know, get the sound like that.
Somebody told me this great story about you, that you had, I don't know, wired your house up for sound and wired your barn up for sound and went out on a lake somewhere and were listening to it and said, more barn.
Yeah, I did that. I was listening to a mix of Alabama from Harvest. We were mixing. Never mixed with it. Using the left speaker was my house, the right speaker was my barn. They were about 250 yards apart, and I was centered right in, what do you call it, the vortex there of this listening range.
Must have been loud.
Well, the barn had a lot more bass than the house.
Alabama, you got the rest of the union. We can help you along. What's going wrong? Oh man, look at my life. I'm a lot like you were.
At one point when you were sort of in a country mode, you were sort of making noises about Ronald Reagan was a good guy. Have you sort of come around from that position too?
I never made, I was never a Reagan supporter in a total blanket sense.
Yeah.
I was one of those who felt that some ideas that he had were good ideas. He had one point that he was stressing in the first 6 months of his job, that he thought that people in the communities and in neighborhoods should pull together and try to do things on their own more than depending on government to do it for them.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a hell of an idea. And here's this old guy, and he's kind of got this image of this fatherly image, telling all these people in neighborhoods to pull together and get your own daycare centers happening and get this and that happening. I thought that was a cool thing. I mean, I thought it was a good thing. So then I'm on my bus someplace in some hellhole somewhere playing some show, and the good part of it is when I'm on stage, and the bad part of it is the rest of it, and these two dorks come on my bus. I don't know how it happened, I swear to God. Two jerks from some press service come on my bus and start asking me these questions, and I was just kind of burnt, And the guys start putting down Reagan left and right and everything, and I looked at the guy and I said, "You're an ass, you don't know what the hell you're talking about." I said, "You probably put down every damn president, that ever lived. You're a president basher.
Yeah.
That's all you do, is if they win, they lose." So I said, the guy's, he's got some good ideas. I stand behind the way he feels about this and that,
Yeah.
I told him, I said, "I think you're full of for dismissing a person completely in every idea he has because he happens to be president and he makes some really stupid moves on one level that I would never think of backing,
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that the guy didn't have some good ideas somewhere along the line, maybe yesterday, about something else." So with the press, it's so hard, even though print is in black and white. It's so hard for them to make it clear what's really happening, So here I am, Reagan supporter,
I mean, there's a song on this new record where you're talking about an old friend you can't talk to because the things they used to say are very hard to say now. I mean, just to relate to that at all.
Oh yeah, no, a lot of people think that's what that was, but actually, I wrote that song out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. I was 10 days out, and I hadn't seen any land for like 10 days.
Was this an accident?
It's been 8 days since I saw it. No, I was cruising, going across the water to Hawaii. I got a sailboat. So I'm out there with my friends, and we're cruising, and we got this ship-to-shore radio. So we just done this Notes for You album and the video and everything, and then I took off. Okay, everything's done, great. I'm going to go take a rest, and the video's ready. I was at the program. We were great. We thought it was a great record, and I still think it was a great record. But but then I found out that MTV wasn't going to play the video, and I thought that was the funniest damn video I ever saw in my life. Am I that far out of touch? I mean, am I really? I know I'm probably the oldest guy on MTV, but I mean, I still, I'm connected. I know what's happening. And then I started thinking, well, maybe you don't know what's happening. And that's what the song's about. That's what the song's about. It's not
sort
about
of second thoughts. I mean.
Yeah, it's about, like people say, don't rock the boat. Like don't do that. Don't sing about all these guys, sponsors and all this. That was what I was getting. Is I thought it was hilariously funny and that everyone would be cracking up on it. And then I found out that it wasn't funny at all. They weren't even going to play it.
But then on the other hand, MTV turned around and gave you the best video of the year.
Right, and Now, I don't know. There's a moral to that story.
Wonder what it is.
I don't know.
I don't sing for nobody. Makes me look like a joke. This note's for you.
You put out this great record called El Dorado, and you released it in New Zealand in an issue of 5,000 copies. Why on earth did you do that?
Well, I released it in New Zealand and Japan.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, well,
It was
then
released
it got
in
its hearing, I suppose.
as a record in New Zealand and a CD in Japan.
There we go. Two
in
formats.
keeping with the two cultures in their...
their respective technological obsessions.
But, yeah, well, you know, sometimes it's better just to put out something for the sake of getting it out there. But that record, I didn't want to put El Dorado out in the States, and I didn't want to put it out all over the place in the regular arena of records, because I felt like it needed to be presented in a way that showed I really cared about it.
Yeah?
And this may be a little of a stretch. But I feel, you see, I feel that if I put this record out here in the States and everything, that it would be construed as being like a real record, okay?